What if you could speak English so naturally that it feels like your first language, with no fear, no pauses, and no translation? Stay tuned because I'm about to share the secrets to make this happen. Hello, incredible English learners. Welcome to another life-changing episode of Ank's English, the podcast where we make learning English fun, simple, and super effective. I'm Ank, your enthusiastic guide, and I'm beyond excited to have you here as we dive into a topic that's going to revolutionize your English speaking skills. If you've ever frozen during a conversation, struggled to find the right words, or felt nervous about speaking English, this episode is tailor-made for you. Imagine this. You're chatting with someone, and instead of overthinking grammar or translating in your head, your words flow effortlessly like a native speaker. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? Well, today, I'm going to show you how to train your brain to make this a reality. At Ank's English, we're all about making English learning a joyful adventure, not a stressful task. Whether you're studying for work, travel, or just to connect with the world, we're here to guide you step by step toward fluency. You're part of a vibrant community of learners who support and inspire each other, and we want to hear from you. What's your biggest struggle with English? What topics do you want us to cover? Share your challenges, ideas, or questions in the comments, and we'll create episodes packed with practical, research-based solutions just for you. Because at Ank's English, we don't just teach English. We solve problems, spark motivation, and help you shine. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful topics for any English learner: how to train your brain to speak English automatically. That means speaking without hesitation, without fear, and without needing to translate. It's about making English feel as natural as your native language. In this episode, I'll cover how your brain naturally learns a language and why traditional methods might be holding you back. Simple, proven techniques to make English flow from your mouth effortlessly. A daily plan to boost your fluency even if you're practicing alone. How to overcome common obstacles like nervousness, limited vocabulary, or slow speech. By the end, you'll have a clear, actionable roadmap to transform your speaking skills, whether you're preparing for a job, a trip, or everyday conversations. Ready to unlock your English fluency? Let's get started. Why automatic English speaking is a game changer. Picture this. You're at a busy restaurant and the waiter asks, "What would you like to order?" You understand the question, but your mind scrambles. You try translating from your native language, checking grammar rules, and by the time you're ready to speak, the moment's gone. Sound familiar? This is a hurdle many English learners face. You might know thousands of words or have studied grammar for years, but when it's time to talk, your brain freezes. The good news? You can train your brain to speak English as naturally as you speak your first language. Think about how kids learn to speak. They don't memorize vocabulary lists or grammar rules. They listen to their parents, mimic sounds, and start talking without overthinking. By age 4 or 5, they're chatting fluently. Why? Because their brains are wired to learn language through exposure and repetition. As adults, we often complicate things by focusing on rules and translations, but we can tap into that same natural process. Here's why training your brain for automatic speaking is so powerful. Smooth fluency. Fluency isn't about speed. It's about speaking naturally without long pauses or mental translation. When your brain is trained, you say things like, "I'd love a coffee, please," without a second thought. Skyrocketing confidence. Fear of mistakes stops many learners from speaking, But the more you practice automatic speaking, the less you worry about errors and the more confident you become. It's like learning to ride a bike. Scary at first, but soon it's second nature. Thinking in English. Translating from your native language often leads to clunky sentences. Thinking directly in English makes your speech natural and authentic. Quick responses. In real-life situations, like a work meeting or a casual chat, you need to reply fast. Automatic speaking lets you respond instantly without overthinking. More enjoyment. Textbooks can feel like a slog. When you train your brain to speak naturally, learning becomes fun, like mastering a new game or hobby. Ready to make this happen? Let's explore how your brain learns a language and how you can use its power to speak English fluently. How your brain learns language. Your brain is a powerhouse with billions of neurons connecting to help you learn, think, and communicate. When you learn a new skill, like cooking or speaking a language, your brain builds pathways through repetition. The more you practice, the stronger those pathways become, until the skill feels effortless. Think about how babies learn their first language. They don't study grammar or memorize word lists. For the first year or two, they just listen, soaking up sounds, words, and patterns. They hear phrases like, "Want a cookie?" or "Let's go play," and their brains start connecting these to meanings. Soon, they mimic simple words like mommy or dog, then move to phrases like more juice or big car. Over time, their speech becomes fluent because their brains have wired these patterns through constant exposure and practice. As adults, we often overcomplicate language learning by focusing on rules and translations, but your brain is still built to learn languages naturally. Here's how it works. Listening first. Babies listen for months before speaking. Their brains absorb patterns, rhythms, and meanings. For you, this means immersing yourself in English, podcasts, shows, or conversations to train your brain to recognize natural speech. Repetition builds memory. Kids repeat what they hear, from daddy to "I want ice cream." With enough repetition, their brains store these phrases for instant recall. You can do the same by practicing common English phrases out loud until they stick. Meaning over rules. Children learn by linking words to real-life situations, not by analyzing grammar. When they hear "I'm thirsty," they connect it to wanting a drink, not sentence structure. You can learn faster by focusing on phrases in context, not isolated rules. By mimicking this natural process, you can train your brain to speak English effortlessly. Let's move on to practical techniques to make this happen. Techniques to speak English automatically. Now that we understand how your brain learns, let's dive into actionable strategies to train it for fluent, automatic English. These methods are simple, engaging, and easy to fit into your busy life. The key? Practice consistently, and your brain will take care of the rest. Echo technique. The echo technique is like being a language parrot. Listen to a native speaker and repeat their words instantly, copying their tone, speed, and rhythm. How to do it? Pick a short clip, like a movie line. "This is the best day ever." Pause, repeat it exactly, and practice until it feels natural. Why it works. Echoing trains your brain to process and produce English in real time, skipping translation and building muscle memory for speaking. Think in English. Translating from your native language slows you down. Train your brain to think directly in English. How to do it. Describe your surroundings. The room is cozy and bright. Plan your day. I'll finish my tasks, then watch a movie. Imagine conversations. If someone asks about my weekend, I'll say I went hiking. Why it works. Thinking in English rewires your brain to form sentences naturally, making your responses faster and smoother. Mimic and speak. Listening is great, but speaking out loud is what locks in fluency. How to do it. Watch a show and repeat lines like, "Hey, good to see you," in the same tone. Practice without reading, letting the words flow. Why it works. Speaking activates different brain pathways than listening, helping you internalize phrases and improve pronunciation. Learn full phrases. Native speakers use ready-made phrases, not single words. Learning sentences makes speaking easier. How to do it. Instead of happy, learn "I'm over the moon today." Instead of tired, learn "I'm wiped out, I need a nap." Why it works. Phrases are stored as single units in your brain, making them easier to recall in conversations. Solo practice. No speaking partner? No worries. You can improve by talking to yourself. How to do it. Narrate your day. "I'm making breakfast now." Read a book aloud. Record yourself and check your progress. Use a speech-to-text app to test clarity. Why it works. Solo practice builds confidence and gets your mouth used to forming English sounds. Engage actively with listening. Don't just hear English, interact with it. How to do it. Repeat sentences you hear. Predict what a speaker will say next. Answer questions mentally like, "What did they mean by that?" Why it works. Active listening sharpens your brain's ability to process English quickly, making speaking more instinctive. Ditch translation. Translating slows you down and makes sentences sound unnatural. Train your brain to understand English directly. How to do it. Use an English to English dictionary. Watch shows with English subtitles. Describe things in English like "a fluffy pet that meows" instead of translating "cat." Why it works. Direct understanding eliminates the translation step, making your speech faster and more natural. These techniques are like gym workouts for your brain. Practice them daily, and English will start feeling like second nature. Next, let's build a daily plan to make this a habit. Your daily fluency plan. To speak English automatically, you need a consistent routine. Think of it like training for a sport. Small, daily efforts lead to big wins. Here's a simple plan to weave English into your life, even with a packed schedule. Morning boost. 10 to 15 minutes. Kick off your day in English to set the tone. Think in English. As you wake up, describe your mood. "I'm pumped for today." Plan your day. "I'll have coffee, then tackle my work." Listen actively. Play a short English podcast or song while getting ready. Focus on the main ideas and repeat a few phrases. Speak aloud. Talk to yourself in the mirror. "Today's gonna be awesome." "I'm meeting friends later." This warms up your speaking muscles. Midday spark, 10 to 15 minutes. Keep English alive during your day. Mental English. Describe what you're doing. "I'm grabbing lunch." "It's a sunny day." Imagine quick chats. If someone asks about my job, I'll say I'm a designer. Echo during breaks. Listen to a short clip during lunch and repeat sentences. Mimic the speaker's style to improve pronunciation. Mini chats. If possible, have a quick chat with a colleague or online partner. If not, talk to yourself. "This sandwich is delicious." Evening deep practice, 15 to 20 minutes. End your day with focused practice. Storytelling. Retell a moment from your day. "I visited a cafe. The music was great and I tried a new drink." Record it to track progress. Active watching. Watch a show and mimic characters' lines. Guess what they'll say next to stay engaged. Review and plan. Summarize your day in English. "I had a productive day." Plan tomorrow's English practice. Weekend immersion, 1 to 2 hours. Use extra time for deeper practice. English only day. Dedicate one day to using only English. Write, speak, and consume media in English. Join a group. Find an online language partner or group for real conversations. Apps like Tandem or HelloTalk are perfect for this. Consistency is everything. Even 30 minutes a day will transform your fluency over time. Overcoming common challenges. Every learner hits roadblocks, but they're all fixable. Here are solutions to the most common hurdles. Fear of mistakes. Solution. Embrace errors as part of learning. Practice in safe spaces, like talking to yourself or joining supportive groups. Celebrate small wins, like using a new phrase. Example, a child doesn't stop running because they trip. They keep going. Treat English the same way. Translating too much solution. Think in simple English sentences. Use English to English resources. Practice quick descriptions. This is a juicy orange. Example, instead of translating dog, think a furry pet that barks. Pronunciation worry solution. Echo native speakers. Break tough words into syllables, e.g., complicated. Record and compare your speech. Example, practice schedule as schedule until it feels natural. Limited vocabulary solution. Learn phrases, not single words. I'm starving instead of hungry. Use new words daily. Paraphrase if stuck. The cold box for food for fridge. Example, read a blog and use new phrases in a sentence. Slow speech or hesitation solution. Practice timed speaking. Describe something in 20 seconds. Use simple sentences. Repeat common phrases until they're automatic. Example, cashiers say, have a nice day because it's practiced, not overthought. No practice partner solution. Narrate your day aloud. Use voice apps or AI chatbots. Join online communities for virtual chats. Example, record yourself saying, I'm making tea, and check clarity. Losing motivation solution. Set small goals like learning 3 phrases a day. Track progress in a journal. Remind yourself why you're learning. Travel, work, or connection. Example, imagine chatting confidently abroad to stay inspired. With these solutions, no obstacle is too big. Keep practicing, and fluency will follow. Final tips and motivation. You're on an incredible journey to master English, and every step matters. Here are final tips to keep you soaring. Practice daily. Even 10 minutes a day builds fluency over time. Consistency beats perfection. Immerse yourself. Surround yourself with English. Change your phone's language, watch English content, think in English. Make it fun. Sing English songs, play language games, or chat with friends online. Joy fuels progress. Celebrate progress. Track your wins, like nailing a new phrase or speaking without pausing. Every step counts. Believe in yourself. You can speak English fluently. Remind yourself of your goals. Better jobs, travel, or global connections. Learning English is like growing a tree. It takes time, but with daily care, it becomes strong and beautiful. You're not just learning a language, you're unlocking a world of opportunities. Keep going, stay positive, and watch your fluency bloom. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Ank's English. What's your biggest takeaway? What challenges are you facing in your English journey? Share them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you, and your question might inspire our next episode. If you found this helpful, smash the like button, subscribe to Ank's English for more tips, and share this with a friend who's learning English. Let's grow this community together. Keep practicing, keep shining, and I'll see you in the next episode. Happy learning.